Today's Gospel, Tuesday, March 9, is taken from St. Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 to 35. Peter approached Jesus and asked him, "Lord, if my brother sins against me, how often must I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus answered, "I say to you, not 7 times, but 77 times. That is why the kingdom of heaven may be likened to a king who decided to settle accounts with his servants. When he began the accounting, a debtor was brought before him who owed him a huge amount. Since he had no way of paying it back, his master ordered him to be sold, along with his wife, his children, and all his property, in payment of the debt. At that, the servant fell down, did him homage, and said, 'Be patient with me, and I will pay you back in full.' Moved with compassion, the master of that servant let him go and forgave him the loan. When that servant had left, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him a much smaller amount. He seized him and started to choke him, demanding, 'Pay back what you owe.' Falling to his knees, his fellow servant begged him, 'Be patient with me and I will pay you back.' But he refused. Instead, he had him put in prison until he paid back the debt. Now when his fellow servants saw what had happened, they were deeply disturbed and went to their master and reported the whole affair. His master summoned him and said to him, 'You wicked servant! I forgave you your debt because you begged me to. Should you not have had pity on your fellow servant as I had pity on you?' Then in anger, his master handed him over to the torturers until he should pay back the whole debt. So will my Father do to you, unless each of you forgives his brother from his heart." The Gospel of the Lord. Today's faithful reflection is by Brother Egay Paulate of the Pag-ibig sa Diyos Catholic Community. Lent is a time of spiritual preparation. It is not just about fasting and abstinence or almsgiving. It is also the time to look deep into our hearts by examining our conscience. This Lent, let us take time during our daily night prayers to examine over ourselves and determine how we have fallen short of God's grace. Because no day goes by that we do not need to ask God to remove our debt against Him. In examining our conscience, first ask the Holy Spirit for enlightenment and sincerity as we go over sets of questions concerning our duties to God, our neighbor, and ourselves. First, have I sinned against God by replacing Him with worldly idols? Have I used His name in vain? Have I lied, cheated, stolen, and coveted? Second, is my heart filled with love, compassion, forgiveness, kindness, and the other virtues that reflect the love of Christ? Third, how have I treated others? Have I talked behind their back, hurt them, disrespected them? Lastly, ask God to show you those dark areas in your heart where you keep resentment and unforgiveness. A keen awareness of our own need for forgiveness will put the offenses of others in their right perspective. Ask God to make you like Christ so that you can now pray, "Father, forgive my offenses as I forgive those who offended me." Let us pray. Dear Jesus, you alone can free me from my bondage to sin. Make me humble enough to ask and receive forgiveness. Grant me the grace to be equally just and forgiving towards others without holding any resentment. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.